Good to have you guys here. Hopefully you can hear my mic. My mic is kind of weird sometimes. Okay, cool. Johnny confirmed it. I literally just got my lighting going, so it's not as dark. That's probably a plus. So I don't know anything about Johnny, other than he's probably a trader. So we're going to dig into what he does today, and figure out, what trading he does and what strategies he's using, or what he streams, or I don't know what he does. I'm here to learn just like everybody else today. So we'll give everybody a little time to jump in. Hey, hello, hi. What else we got? Any giveaway? Yeah, of course, we always do a giveaway. Hello, everyone. That's pretty much it for people joining us. All right, Johnny. Who are you? Where do you come from? What's your origin story? Let me hear it all. I got to hear this.
Sure. So my name's Johnny. I actually grew up in Houston, Texas. I was adopted when I was 2, by the most southern family you can imagine. So I do not come from.
Well, hold on. Where's the accent?
My accent, Texas. I don't know.
Yeah, but you said the most southern people ever, so I'm expecting a southern accent from you.
Well, if you listen to my mom, you would hear it. I promise.
Okay.
So yeah, I grew up in Houston, Texas. Had my first kiss at 5 years old.
Oh man, you're going in depth right here.
No, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So I went to the University of Texas to study engineering, mechanical engineering, and ended up not loving it. And right out of school, started doing executive compensation consulting. I had a buddy that was in the industry. It was kind of a unique niche kind of.
That is a mouthful. Can you say that? Executive what?
Executive compensation consultant. So we would consult with board of directors on compensation packages for executives. So it was a really unique sort of opportunity that I had, that then kickstarted my career in sales. So I did sales for quite a while. I did executive compensation consulting for probably 4 years or something like that, and then just kind of outgrew it. I was, believe it or not, it was a lot of spreadsheeting. I did get to interact with some C-level executives, which gave me, a lot of great experience, to speaking on that level. And I ended up moving on to technology sales and eventually to hospitality. So, my latest, aspiration was me and my best friend had a nightclub and restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trading nightclub. All right. Don't go together, but okay.
Late nights, lots of partying, and really tough business. We were one of the most successful nightclubs here in Denver, and still our margins were razor thin, even though we were selling, Ace of Spades champagne by the box. But
you would think they would have good margins with the alcohol and how much they charge for alcohol. Do you have shrinkage where they just give away alcohol for free and you don't know about it, or what?
Mainly it's the other portions of the business. So, we had a VIP program that was thriving, but we also had a restaurant that was losing us money.
Got it.
And then we had, the overhead to keep a place like that staffed is tremendous.
So the restaurant killed you. That's kind of probably what
restaurants
are tough.
Restaurants are tough. And the people killed me. Because, managing a whole bunch of, people in the industry, bar managers, VIP managers, people that are just wanting to party all the time is pretty rough. I had a great staff. It wore me down pretty quickly.
Good on you for using, your political correctness there. You're like, I know you have a nickname for your staff or something just because they're partiers, but you're like, no, very, very clean way to approach that conversation. I like it. Okay, so nightclub, totally. I mean, you've been in some different industries, so pretty crazy. You're good in front of the camera. You got a nice camera, by the way. I might need to upgrade mine. Cool. So, you get into the nightclub. That's not working out. Kind of really strange, jumping point. But okay, so where do we go from the nightclub? What other interesting stories?
Well, so throughout probably the last 8 years, I've been trading. Sometimes very heavily, sometimes very lightly. When we were opening the nightclub, it was very lightly. And prior to that, you know, it's funny, I had a conversation with Josh about how we got started trading, and I started trading small caps with, you know, one of the influencers on YouTube that he was familiar with. And so
I know who it is, because I probably started in the same spot as you. And then you trade with him, and then you soon realize that he doesn't really have a strategy. He just uses his customers as liquidity.
Yeah,
he's like, hey guys, for sure. Hey guys, I'm jumping into this, and then he expects everybody to jump in behind him, and then, you know, they're
5 seconds late on the stream.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay guys, I'm sorry, I'm out, after he sells in all of his customers. So yeah, he had a great strategy. Just doesn't work for everyone.
For him, yes. So I got started, you know, with the high octane, you know, low cap stocks, and even though I was losing tons of money, I loved it. And so I was kind of determined to continue trading. And, you know, even before I put on a live trade, and with, you know, his strategy, I traded in the sim for 6 months. But prior to that, you know, I had bought stocks as kind of investments, but never day traded. So that was kind of my first foray into day trading, and I fell in love with it. The high octane, you know, make $1,000, lose $1,000 in a day sounded great to me. I'm a risk taker. So in any case, that's how I got started with it. I then moved on to futures, and then from that did swing trading for a while, and then COVID kind of killed that for me. So after, you know, having some moderate success with swing trading, I kind of focused on, I'm going to get back to the day trading thing. I'm not going to do the small cap stuff. I'm going to focus on, you know, creating, you know, a nice strategy with some not as high octane type of moves, and, you know, kind of been sticking with it ever since. So that's over the course of like 8 years that I just went through. Of course, you know, got into trading prop firms and went through tons of accounts, you know, not really understanding how to manage risk and how to play the game. You know, there's a game with prop firms, and, you know, I sing, you know, the futures desk praises to a lot of people who have issues with trailing drawdown, and, you know, prop firms that typically just turn and burn their customers. And so we can probably get into that in a little bit, but, you know, I had experience trading prop firms, you know, getting funded accounts, losing funded accounts. And, you know, one of the things that was really an eye opener for me was when I lost 20 Apex accounts in one day that all had $3,500 in profit in it.
Ouch.
So that's $70,000 in one day. And, you know, right there, I was teetering on, do I build a cushion or do I take a payout? And I think that's one of the things that traders will probably find when they're trading prop firms is you have different levels. You know, first it's, I got to pass the eval. Then once you're funded, it's, I've got to get a payout. Well, the next level that you have to consider when you're trying to get a payout is, do I need to leave a cushion in there so that I'm not tilting, right? So that I take a payout and then I don't blow the accounts and then it sends me on tilt. Well, that's where I was in this journey, and I ended up tilting and blowing all those accounts, which caused me to take a step back, look at what I was doing and say, hey, why don't I start with one account, try and get consistent with that, and then I can start scaling.
Yeah, that's a when I meet people in risk meetings, that's one of my first questions is, have you taken a payout before? If so, how long ago? Because a lot of times these guys get in there and they haven't taken a payout.
Mm-hmm.
And what we find, at least through our data, is if they haven't taken a payout ever before, they generally become very tilted as soon as they have one bad day. And the reason behind that is like, look, they have everything riding on this one day, this one trade. And if they lose it, then they have nothing to show for it. So a lot of times it's like, no, take a small payout. And then when you start building a buffer, we're really big on risk management. It's like, no, you got to size down, because if you don't, you're never going to make it long term unless you're just like betting on luck and gambling and stuff like that. That's cool. It's fun, but it's not a long-term thing. It's not a long-term strategy. You really have to manage risk. So we really have guys and gals, you know, reduce their overall risk per day to give them more runway, right? And the
Yeah.
more runway they have, the more sustainability they have, and the more long-term this can be. And it's really tough because so many people are stuck in this like gambling mentality because of all the firms and what they push, that they come at us and we go like, no, I want to risk the whole account in one day. And I'm like, why? Like, maybe you get lucky, but in most cases you're going to lose the account, and that's not what we want to do. We want you to be in the account for a long time. We wanted you to take big payouts in over a longer term time period. So when you lost 70K in that day, you didn't have any stops in place. There was nothing to stop yourself from.
Oh no, I stopped out multiple times, and because Apex has a trailing drawdown. If you have a big trade that's open with unrealized P&L and it goes back to even break even, blow your account, unfortunately.
Got it. And you didn't have any like emergency daily stop in place to like stop yourself from losing everything in one day?
I didn't. Nope. Okay. It was supposed to be a mental stop, and I blew right through it.
Mental stops are great when you're winning and you're doing well, but mental stops don't work after you've had a series of losses and things like, basically it's, I got to land this trade or this account's gone. You get in that mentality like, well, I don't care. But, whatever happens. You get so stubborn. And it's like, that's why you got to figure out, one, have an actual stop in place. That's why we have those stops on our accounts. Or two, you have a risk manager that's looking over your risk, right? After you're in that situation, or you're stopping before you get to that point. But it's really hard to stop yourself because you don't want to give up those wins. You don't want to give up that money, and you think you can just get it all back. Did you end up sizing in more when you started getting into the losing streak?
Most likely when it started getting down to like probably 1,000 in drawdown left, and then one trade blew it all out.
Got it.
And so the result of that was a lot of pain. And if you haven't lost $70,000 in one day, it's probably going to be hard to imagine. But it was a lot of pain, a lot of self-reflection. One of the things I ended up doing after that actually really helped with my psychology was I read a book called The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler. And it really goes through, a process that helps you recognize that the way you're thinking when you're in trades or when you're potentially tilting is kind of a different mindset. And you have to kind of be the observer and try and understand where these stem from, where your tilt moments stem from, and then going back to your triggers and being able to recognize your triggers so that you can prevent the tilt from happening before it starts. So that was one of the big
100% agree on that. And that's actually a strategy that I utilize in my trigger. For me, it's after 2 losing trades in a row. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not a lot, but it's different for every trader. So don't just use, whatever strategy everybody else is using. Figure out what your triggers are. And it really does help, because once you're in tilt, good luck. You're not going to get out of it in most cases, unless you get break even. That's one scenario you'll get out of it. You make a little bit of money, or you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm okay with losing this much. But other than that, you're either going to blow the account or get to that break even point, and that's not a good spot to be trading from. So, that's a great book. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so we went. Sorry, we went through all the despair. Your lowest moment in trading. Let's get to the good stuff. Like, how did you bounce out of that? You read the book. It gave you some insights. Where did you go from there? Like, what turned the corner for you?
Well, not wanting to lose that much money ever again was a huge motivator.
Okay.
And my strategy was to slowly build back my confidence. I never stepped out of the game. I never just threw in the towel and quit. I didn't take a break for mental health or anything like that. I just got back up and said to myself that I was gonna start with one account, and I was gonna go in very small. So I'm talking like two micros, 2 micro contracts, MNQ. So I started off doing that so that I could really work on, fine tuning my strategy, fine tuning my trade management, and 2 contracts was enough for me. I can size, I can enter with one, I can add one, I can size out one, and then I can close in full. And so developing my strategy with much smaller size, I think helped give me a lot of clarity in what I was trying to accomplish, and helped me recognize that trying to rush trading is really the thing that can destroy you. You know, if you're trying to improve as a trader fast, the best thing you can do is really take it slow and work on the process, work on your trade management, and work on growing your account slowly. Because eventually what ends up happening is you realize if you can make $100 a day, you can scale that. But if you're all over the place doing 500 here, negative 500 here, 1,000 here, negative 1,000 here, there's no way to scale that, because if you scale that, you just have a wide distribution. So anyway, you know, so I started off slow, one account. Eventually, you know, now I'm trading multiple accounts, which I know is frowned upon by some. But you know, for the longest time, what I did was, instead of copy trading, I rotated accounts. So that helped me manage my tilt as well. So I had, you know, one account, and I would go in on a trade, and maybe the trade idea was still valid, but you know, I was getting close to my stop. I could then enter, but only enter with another account, if that makes sense. So I was spreading the risk around the accounts, instead of just going in with trades and then having it copy all the trades, and then potentially, you know, losing $600 in one trade because I took, you know, $100 loss, for instance. So that helped me think about, you know, spreading my risk around, and especially considering, you know, taking one trade idea and making sure it's valid if I'm going to take another entry on it. Considering that I have multiple accounts, I could spread it across. But it really allowed me to sort of be selective and not be emotionally triggered when I lose a trade because it's not multiplying by 5.
Yeah, that's and I don't have any issue with people copy trading, because a lot of so I guess there's two situations. People copy trade because they're actually just over leveraging, right? They're using way too much size, or you know, it's spread across. Where there's other people that will copy trade to just help emotionally, right? The mental game of knowing that you have more than one account, or knowing that you can trade smaller size. So let's say they have 3 accounts and they're trading 1 micro in each account, right? I see that as okay, because you're looking at a smaller number, but you know, you're actually spreading the risk, and it's just helping you to trade better, right? You know, everybody does different things emotionally to help them trade. I don't use copy trading. I don't do that type of stuff, but other people, they find a ton of value in it. It's like, no, I don't, just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it can't work for others.
Right.
So I'm glad you were able to figure that out. You tuned it for your own, you know, style of trading, and you didn't increase your risk, you know, crazy. You just kind of like, it helped you emotionally, and it helped you stay focused. So that's a cool strategy. I don't think I've heard anybody else use it in that way, and that's cool, man. Hopefully others get some value from that. Okay, so started doing well. Then where do we go from there?
Yeah, so just kind of finish up that topic, I eventually what ended up happening was while rotating accounts was, I think, the exact thing I needed in that stage to spread risk around the accounts. Eventually, you know, trading from, you know, 9:30, I mean, you know, 8:30 Eastern to 4 p.m. Was a little mentally exhausting. So, you know, because essentially when I was rotating accounts, it was like I have one setup for one account, and then the next setup that comes along, I trade it in the next account. So it's a lot of trading, switching between accounts. And so eventually what I ended up doing is deciding I'm going to take less trades, and I'll copy trade those accounts, and found it to be kind of a huge relief to be able to really hone in on the trades I want to take, and then kind of go in like a spear fisherman, you know, with all the accounts copied, with a different mindset though. Previously with the 20 accounts, it was like I was just going after it, you know, just trade after trade after trade on all 20 accounts, and that was exhausting in itself. And then, you know, rotating accounts, taking one trade here, one trade here, one trade here, one trade here. If I wanted to make progress on all the accounts, it ended up being taking the whole day to find as many setups as I could. So that was exhausting. And now where I've landed is I'll copy trade, but I'll be more selective with my trades, and it'll preserve some mental capital. So now where I am is I've got 5 accounts, well, 6, including the futures desk, but 4 of which are funded accounts. And, you know, my last payout was last week. I am consistently getting payouts every 2 to 3 weeks. And, you know, sometimes it'll be, sometimes I only get one payout. Like a week ago, I was at the payout level for 2 of my accounts, and, you know, had an almost tilt moment where I disqualified the accounts from payout. I didn't blow them, but, you know, it was like those days still creep back in, and you got to fight them. But so now, right now, you know, trading accounts, taking payouts, working on just slow progress, building cushion in the accounts. And again, that's the stage I'm in, is do I take a payout now, or do I continue to build the cushion?
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Congrats on getting payouts. It's a really hard thing to do, is to get payouts. And then depending on where you're trading, and we won't even talk about where you're trading, but you know, having sub rules to payouts kind of can mess you up, but it's all about the ROI. So if you have a great ROI on, you know, paying for these accounts, and you get through and you get payouts, that's all that freaking matters. Like, no matter where you trade, as long as they pay out and you can get a return on your investment. So I think that's really good. As far as the whole, hey, how much cushion do I need and how much, you know, payout, I would start building it slowly. And it sounds like you're already doing that, but also take payouts along the way. Don't like just stack cash, like take a little bit out.
Yeah. You got to pay yourself
a little bit out as you take out money, while also building the cushion, and like do 2 at the same time. So now you're not depleting your account and you're not decreasing your cushion, but you're also taking a little bit out. And yeah, it's not, you know, maybe it's not always big money, but at least you're taking money out consistently. And that in itself is a huge accomplishment. So dude, congrats on that, man. It's not, you know, we have the data for it. It's a tough thing. And it's not the strategies. It's like mentally, it's the psychology behind it. That's the biggest factor of it. Because there's so many strategies at work. But it's following the strategy and not going to tilt. So good for you, dude. You're mentally very tough. So good stuff, man. Would you mind sharing what you do? Like maybe one setup or something?
I'll actually, let me put up my chart here, and I'll show you the trade. I took a couple trades today. I was actually trading like a maniac last night because the market was moving, but I'll show you the ones I was doing this morning. Let's see.
Cool. So you should just be able to share it. There you go. Oh, that looks nice. Let's get me off the screen though.
Okay. So the volume profile has changed throughout the day, but I use the volume profile. I
like that. Hold on. I love that gradient you got going on, bro.
Which one?
For your chart. Your chart looks.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it looks hot, bro. It's stylized. Very good. What are we looking at? These dots? Are these imbalances?
Yeah. So these are aggressive orders.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the day, the value area low was down here. Value area high was up here. And obviously we had a huge move overnight. Down, came back up. And what I was looking for was a continuation move to the upside. And so after we started seeing some weakness here, and certainly after we started dipping below these big buys, I was starting to think about a long. And so I used Fibonacci's. I was looking at the 50% Fibonacci, and that was looking like it was getting blown through. And right where the point of control was, and if you're not familiar with the point of control, it's the exact price where volume was traded in the highest amount. And so the point of control was, I don't know, somewhere around here or something like that. So I took a stab on it and got blown out immediately. This thing charged down. So after I got stopped out on one trade here, after I saw this big buy order, and that was my first mistake here, is that I didn't wait for confirmation that buyers were stepping in. So after we hit this value area low, took out this low. So I also like higher time frame sweeps as well, you know, taking out previous hour, previous 4 hour, previous day highs and lows, and then looking for a bounce back into the range. After this big move up, I wasn't certain we were going to be breaking out, but I was bullish based on the overnight price action. So that gave me the confidence to take this trade after seeing this confirmation right here that aggressive buyers are stepping in. We're also coming off of the value area low, which is a key level I like to key in on for bounces or potentially price gravitating toward it.
Okay.
So I took this trade here after we had buyers step in, stop below here. I was initially looking to target just this high. So I took it, I think right when this, I took the order off right when these sellers started stepping in. I was like, this could just start ranging back and forth. So I took the trade off here. And then I was sitting on my hands watching and seeing price gravitate up, basically just grinding up, without a lot of pullbacks. We had a couple of pullbacks. This one came back to the VWAP. I also use VWAP with standard deviations. So after we push up, we pull back to this VWAP. We have some sellers, try and step in. The market pushes higher, so these guys are getting squeezed out. I like it. Now we see sellers stepping in here. It looks pretty aggressive, and so I just say, hey, this is a good enough for me. I'm not going to hold it for this value area high in case we do a hard pullback back to the VWAP. So close this trade, and as this is trending up, I'm watching because I'm thinking, and I was on stream talking about it. I was like, this looks like it could be breaking out here. So what I'm watching for here at this value area high, do we have additional buyers stepping in? And do we have follow through, or is it being absorbed? And when I say absorbed, what I mean is, do we have a high level of buy orders coming in and price is essentially rejecting? Because if that's the case, we could have some hidden sellers here that potentially want to push the price down. And if you guys aren't super familiar with order flow, really what it is, or really what I'm looking for is, I want to know where the aggressive buyers are and where the aggressive sellers are, and whether or not those buy orders or sell orders are being accepted with price. So I also use cumulative volume delta. And here, I can probably put this up here just for a second. So these are delta candlesticks, and I know that not a ton of people are familiar with it, but essentially this is showing aggressive buys and aggressive sells by price. Usually what you're looking at is volume down here in vertical bars, and that'll show you volume by time. But this allows you to get more specific with volume. Where is volume happening, and where is volume happening aggressively? So if you look at this candlestick, you'll see here the most aggressive buying or selling that happened was here at 24,943, and you can see here it was on the buy side. So that means buyers are hitting the ask. And so when you see buyers hitting the ask, my first question is, okay, is it large enough to be relevant? And if it is large enough to be relevant, does price reject from this area, or is price accepted? And if price is accepted, that gives me a potential area that I could be watching for, or take a trade and potentially put my stop underneath it. Because if you think about it this way, whether people are getting squeezed out or you have huge buyers at this level, the level is either going to be protected by huge buyers or by people continuing to get squeezed out of their short positions. Obviously, that's not always the case, but when you have really, really strong areas like this value area high, and you see buyers stepping in, and you see it supported, every pullback is being pushed back up immediately. That tells you we got some momentum, we've got some size coming into play, and we have some follow through. So there aren't huge whale sellers here keeping price down to come back into the range. So I'm watching for a breakout. So essentially I took this trade a little bit higher than normal, or than I like to take. But when you start seeing buyers step in like that and price accepting it, like you can say that you want to buy low and sell high, but sometimes you got to buy high and sell higher. And that's kind of the way I look at it, because you've got the market on your side. And in a position like this, we're seeing large expansion candles come out of this. This is also another setup I like to see, either for confirmation that I'm in the right direction or potentially taking it right here. And this is confirmed with order flow. And, the people that watch my stream hear me talk about the windshield wiper all the time. But, you have an expansion candle. This middle candle here is a pullback candle. It can't quite pull back. There's too much strength. So it ends up being green. And then you have another expansion candle. And usually what I'm looking for here is like a 1-to-1 expansion candle from here after the pullback. And then an expansion candle equal in size as this leg. As long as it's followed up by order flow. Now, if we see this sort of pattern forming and you start seeing heavy selling here and it reverses immediately, this would immediately be a short for me. I'm not necessarily on a day like today because we have some strength in the market pushing price up, but there are a couple examples I have of this working out really well, and that's basically comes down to kind of the concept of sometimes your setup is gonna show up in price and what's happening in price action or what's not happening in price action, right? So if you're expecting a follow through in an area like this, for instance, this would be a prime example of it. Let's say that you're expecting this to continue short. Well, immediately we stop on a dime and we have huge buyers step in. That to me would be a red flag for going short on this move. And so that in itself could be, a signal based on your, whatever model you trade, could be a signal for you to, well, shit, this is getting stuff down here. I'm gonna go long on this.
Got it. Yeah, that's an awesome breakdown. So it kind of sounds like you're using, key area points as like inflection points to get you interested, and then you're using order flow as a trigger or an entry signal to actually get into the trade. I highly recommend people do that because each setup and then the trigger to get you into that setup can be drastically different, and it can change your win rate. And if you keep those things separate and don't just trade every single, let's say trigger. So every single time you see a green bubble, right? This is somebody aggressively buying and you're like, oh, I'm going to get into this trade every single time I see this. You would literally get run over. Where 100%. He's using these signals to confirm a bias that he has or a setup that he has that he's established, right? This is the way to use order flow, in my opinion.
What's exactly what you're talking about? A good example of getting run over is right here, right? So you're coming up to this value area high. You got buyers confirming. But what you want to do is you want to see what happens at this key area. We got buyers stepping in, but now you start seeing price falling. So what happens when price falls? Well, you're going to have a sell-off because you got people that are offside up here. You got breakout traders. You got the YouTube influencer that's telling people to buy breakouts right here, and then price collapses.
Yeah. And everybody gets stuck. So then you get the momentum back to the downside, and you're like, hey, I'm not going to be like everybody else. I'm going to wait. And then you get involved in a good area right there and I know you got stopped out once before, but that's trading. You're not always going to get the perfect trade, but I like your methodology. Now, question for you, what platform is this?
This is NinjaTrader.
Okay, you just themed it and made it look really nice. Okay, cool.
Yes, I did. And I'm actually a huge fan of Project X and y'all's platform. What I liked, and now I can copy trade from NinjaTrader to y'all's platform. And if you guys haven't seen the Futures Desk platform, you got to check it out. You guys are doing some phenomenal stuff with it. I ended up using NinjaTrader so that I could copy trade with different firms, and then eventually, got sick of, kind of looking at the way it looked and just kind of made it exactly how I wanted to see it.
Yeah, it definitely looks, it's good looking. I like the gradient. I like the colors.
Thank you.
Just like you, I use neutral colors. I don't like, gray is my down as well. So it's funny how you kind of, it seems like most traders gravitate. It's like, no, I don't want to see red on my screen. I just want something neutral. I don't even use green. I use blue and gray. But yeah, cool, man. It definitely good looking charts. I like it. Thanks for sharing some of your setups. Let's give some people some more time and opportunity to maybe ask some very specific questions for Johnny. What do we have, guys? What questions do we have? I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any
Absolutely,
questions
yep.
you guys might have.
Oh, thanks, Finster.
Yeah, I see.
Thank you.
Here, I'll add myself on here so you're not alone.
Cool.
All right, YouTube channel. That's actually a good one. What is your YouTube channel? And can you
so
share it and then we'll post it for you?
Yeah, so you can look up Trader Die X on YouTube. I haven't created. I think I've created maybe one short or something like that. I haven't really been creating a bunch of content. I've been focusing on streaming. And just to let you guys know, the reason I started streaming was for personal accountability. If I make mistakes and I go on tilt, I want to make sure that I have to be embarrassed about it in front of people. Mm-hmm. So that was the whole goal for streaming. I haven't worked on growing my audience, and so everybody knows my whole goal for streaming is really I want to get a group of people together in a community that love trading and that can contribute ideas. I have no interest on making money off my audience or anything like that, but to grow that community, I've realized the only way to do it really is to just keep doing what you're doing, be good at it. And probably the bane of my existence is creating a lot of content. So haven't got there yet, but I think you're muted over there.
Yeah, Windows loves to just randomly mute my mic. So sorry about that, guys. So going back into what you're saying, I love the fact that you created a YouTube literally for accountability, because nobody really had. So trading is really freeing, right? And you can pretty much do whatever you want. No one's going to call you out on it. But as soon as you start streaming to an audience and you've already taught them your ways to be like, no, I don't like to get in here and I like to take this much size. And then when you're trading and you're on YouTube and you're like, well, I better not get into that trade because everybody's watching. So that's kind of cool that you used YouTube as a strategy to keep yourself in check. Because a lot of traders, if they had accountability or somebody to watch over them, it would literally be night and day difference for their performance. So I'm glad you were able to figure out something.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, the people that typically watch me either on Twitch or Kick. So I just started streaming to YouTube. I was kind of against streaming on YouTube because I like to play whatever music I want. And YouTube tends to slap you on the wrist.
Really? I didn't know that. I guess it's music. YouTube. So yeah.
So people that watch me typically are on Twitch and Kick, but feel free to watch wherever. And then let's see, what do we got? Somebody said, how do you get the bubbles on NinjaTrader? So it's the Order Flow Plus package. You can either subscribe to it for $59 or you can have a live account with them, and then you get it for free. So that's what I did. I have a live account with them, and then you get the Order Flow package for free.
Cool. All right, what else do we have? Thank you. Kick is amazing. I've never even looked at what is Kick? Is it just like a streaming platform, kind of like Twitch?
What the young kids are using for streaming these days.
Okay. Yeah. Too old. I'm a boomer, man. I can't know what that is, I guess.
So I just stream. Basically, I just hit go live, and then it'll push it to YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Nice.
Yeah. And I did hear a little bit of your Southern stuff come out when you said y'all a couple times. Like, okay, there it is.
Yeah, it's efficient.
There it is, the y'all.
Yep.
Cool. All right, I think we're getting close to doing the giveaway. Maybe. Cool. What's your name on Kick? Trader
Die X. So, yeah, same as what we have here, I think.
Yeah, it's at the bottom right now. It says, also use his code. If you guys decide to sign up today with us, we are running a sale. You can basically get an account that can be eligible for funding without any weird stuff after fees and all that other stuff that other firms have for $59. It's a small account, but that's what account you should be trading anyways. Mm-hmm. So it's an opportunity right now for you guys, but use his code Trade or Die X.
Yep. And Finster, I'm in Colorado, Arvada, Colorado. So I used to live downtown Denver, and during COVID, I have a dog, and we used to have to bring him outside my loft building to the back alley to go, use the bathroom. And after COVID, we started calling it Crack Alley. So I moved a little bit away from the city and probably halfway in between the city and the mountains now.
Sounds like a good spot. You can still go to the city, but you don't have the city drama all the time. That's
exactly
great. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and do the giveaway and let Johnny butcher the names. Hopefully he can use his Southern accent to do those. That is a big list of names. And then we'll do some more questions.
Cool.
All right, click to spin it. Let's do it. And Josh today is behind the scenes operating everything. So that's why it's not going as well as it normally does with Raj. So blame Raj, or Josh, not Raj. Josh.
Yeah.
There you go. First name.
Oh, okay. I'm supposed to read that with a Southern accent. Alabriti Medi.
Okay. Sounded like your normal accent, but
Sounded like my normal voice.
That's fine. That's fine.
Am I a Broncos fan? Yeah, I'm a Broncos fan. I'm not terribly huge into football. I actually used to play football, but as far as watching football, I find it to be too time consuming for me, to be honest. But Texans and the Broncos. Terrence Finley.
There you go. You stepped up your game on the accent. Good job. All right. Congrats to both those winners. Should we do 3? Johnny, it's up to you. Should we do 3?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, let's do 3. Let's do 3. Is this an easy one or a hard one? Oh, another easy one.
Jose Almaraz.
All right. Congrats, guys. Congrats. Okay, let's jump back into some questions. I think there was a good question for you somewhere.
Yes, I see it. Nighthall.
Yep.
How do you prepare for the trading day? And is there any specific sites you use to track news on a daily basis? You know, I had a buddy that would do all the news stuff for me, but he's been sadly out lately. But yeah, Forex Factory is the news, or to be honest, the futures desk in their platform, they have all the relevant news. So yeah, for you guys out there that haven't, and how else do I prepare for the trading day? I'll make it quick, but I get in the shower, and one of the things I do that, might sound cheesy, but I get in the shower and I get myself in a mind state of being grateful for the work I'm about to do, and for being the person I want to be, being congruent with who I want to be. And I get myself, sometimes I wake up groggy, and it takes me 30 minutes in the shower until I can really sort of mentally be grateful for, the opportunity I have to not manage a bunch of kids at a nightclub, and I get to trade every day, and, get to pursue this thing that I love. So I get in that mindset in the shower. That's what the first thing I do. Feed the animals, sit at the charts, look to see if there are any news events, and then start analyzing the charts. That's how typically I get to it.
It's sometimes not cheesy at all. Like, you need a routine, and you need to make sure that you come into the market well prepared and centered. Trading is very much like a professional sport, right? You got to have a pre-game routine, and it really comes down to that. And that's why a lot of professional athletes, or at least D1 athletes, are very good at trading, because look, you got to have the routine. You got to be in the right mindset. You got to be thinking about those things, because if you come in with a bad attitude or a lack of sleep, or you're not into it, you're going to perform really bad at trading, because it is so very about you, right? Yep. It's about your emotions and where you're at. So not cheesy at all. I think that's great advice. Find a routine that works for you, and try a bunch of different ones. Like, there's no wrong routine.
I've found as an indicator for how I'm going to do on the day, if I'm feeling like I can't get into that state of mind, it's almost I'm going to reduce my size or not trade. It might seem superstitious or something, but I have enough evidence to know that, like, if I'm in a bad mindset for the day, I will tilt very easily, at the first sign of red.
Yeah, been there, done that. I've come in on days being tired or just not feeling it, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't trade today. And the times I've said, nah, I'll just go ahead and trade, I always get smoked, because then you're sitting there going like, see, I told you we shouldn't have traded today. You're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
And where you're just come in the morning, you're like, you know what, I'm not going to trade today, and you just go and do something else. You're not going to lose anything that day, and the next day you're more refreshed, or maybe the day after that. But you definitely save yourself a lot of heartache if you actually listen to yourself in the morning. So good stuff, man. Really good advice.
Thank you. And Brian, I wanted to know, and Josh might say no to this, but I was wondering, do you have the ability to show these people on stream what you guys have coming down the pipe on the platform?
Yeah, I think so. We kind of already showed a little bit of it last time, but if we want to show it again, I think we can. Are you logged in? I'm sure you have access, right? Did we
yes.
give you access? Yeah, go ahead and log in, pop it up.
Cool.
We've given you unfettered access. You should give us feedback on it.
Oh, I definitely have been. You don't have the ability to pull it up on your screen, do you?
I do. I need to find the link, and as you know, I just reinstalled Windows, so that's why my light is all messed up, and I probably don't have the link. So let me see. I'll yell at Josh to give it to me. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
Josh, you're in here. I know you can hear me. Send me the link, please. Pretty please. Come on, buddy. Oh, he's sleeping. He's not sending it to me yet. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Here,
I can find it. There it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just have to readjust my stream settings or whatever.
Of course, I need to log in. Now I have to do the verification.
Hard ask. I just thought that for those people out there who haven't seen, and I think it's just a huge sort of testament to what you guys are trying to do with the platform, what's coming down the pipe, because when I saw this, I was just blown away. And I'm somebody who likes to kind of have everything consolidated, in one spot. And, if you're somebody who likes to track your trades, you gotta have TradeReview or TradeZella, you gotta have 10 different things to trade. And the fact that you have everything in this platform right now is so attractive, I think. In addition to that, the ability to track your trades and to track your progress and your win rates, all the stats you guys have on here is phenomenal.
Yeah, and the reason we built it that way is look, we've been in the trading game, all of us, for a pretty long time, and we know what actually helps people. It's not really finding some new strategy and whatever else you think it's going to be. It's actually just digging into data and keeping accountability of yourself. And by journaling and tagging your trades, you're really going to learn when your trades work well and when they don't work well, and when to cut stuff out. And it just really expedites the entire process by, hold on, let me try again. Sorry, guys.
No big deal. If not, you can save it for the next one.
I was in for a second. Sometimes Chrome doesn't like when I'm testing the feature one. So let me see. Let me try to get logged in one more time.
Cool. When will Delta Trader be available for Project X?
I don't know. I know they're working on it. You would have to ask Niels that question, okay, but I do not have a timeline on that currently. Nope. It's not like in whatever's going on, it keeps kicking me out. So I will not be able to share it unless you can share it on your end. Or Josh, if you want to go, you don't have to get on camera, but you can at least share the link. Josh is popping on. He's going to share it.
All right. What do you need?
Yeah, if you don't mind just sharing, what you've been working on. It is your baby. So, I mean, you should probably be the one that shows everybody. I unfortunately, I did my Windows thing, Linux thing, and caused a bunch of issues. So when I go to the website, it just keeps kicking me out. I'm assuming it's an issue on my end, of course. So if you don't mind streaming it.
Yeah, for you guys out there while he's pulling that up, I put a post out on X, asking people what their biggest challenges are with trading right now. It's really interesting because I feel like every single answer I got on there, I've been through. And I've had to do a lot of sort of psychoanalysis in myself to figure out why it is that way. Feel free to shoot that out, in the chat if you guys are having, challenges with trading, because it's tough out there. Trading is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And, I think
100% the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life. Yeah. And people minimize it. They are like, oh, it's going to take you about a year, maybe 2 years. It's like, no, that's unrealistic. It is a very, very hard thing to do. But once you get it down, there's so much opportunity in it if you're realistic with things. All right, cool. Josh got it up.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, we did show a demo a little while ago, but things keep improving and progressing. This is some test data we're using here. But what you'll see if you're already familiar with our platform, everything's been revamped from a user interface standpoint, much easier, especially for traders that are just getting into this. Making use of all these tools was something we had to keep thinking through. How do we make this beginner friendly, but still very powerful in an advanced scenario? So all the menu is moved down to this bottom bar, and we've streamlined so you can see all the account information. The daily process is up front and center here. You'll notice here's your daily notes. You can hop into here every morning, start your morning prep. This will give you a way to have some introspection and not only just put that introspection into a notepad file on your computer or something on your desk. We'll be able to track this, and you'll be able to go back and see some correlations with how you're doing and how you're rating yourself and your performance over time. You're not going to want to look day by day. You're going to want to record it day by day. But when you look back at the data, you want to see trends as a whole, just like trading, right? So you can come in here and say how you're feeling for the day. Maybe you're feeling greedy and fearful but confident somehow. We want you to pay attention to the news events. You can hop over here to this tab and see any news events. There's none today, but if I pop over to this week, here's the next one coming up with a little timer, 18 hours. So I can come back into my daily process and say, okay, no more news events today. Maybe put a couple lines in the sand. So let's say NQ bullish over, I don't remember the number offhand we're at, but let's say we're bullish on NQ. And then you can create your own custom daily goals. We have some templates you can use. Let's use stop impulse trades. And some of these are funny because we're testing it out, but stop trading after 11. So once you're done with this brings you back to the notes page, and you see a summary of your morning prep. So you can keep that in mind. Keep attention to it. Pay attention to your focus areas, your daily goals for the day, and then you can type some notes as you're trading, which we recommend doing all throughout your trading process while you're taking trade before you start trading. Just take your thoughts, don't leave them in your head. Put them on, take them out of your head and put them on paper. You might not even review your notes later. The most important part is organizing it in a way where you write it, because that process alone can force you to structure exactly what your final decisions are, and not later you're like, oh no, I really thought I was going to go long. I was thinking I should go long, and I knew I should have gone long. It's like, no, write it down so you can't continue to basically lie to yourself, because it's very easy to do that. This is very stressful to trade. So having basically a spot checker that's yourself, since not everyone can have a coach sitting behind them 24 hours a day, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, and this stuff that's in here, when our users actually go through the morning prep and complete the full daily process, they do better. Like 100%, they make more money, right? This is something that you can do as a trader every single day to get better, right? It's not going to be night and day difference. It's each day you do it. You're going to allow yourself to be centered. You're going to allow yourself to understand what's going on. Like we see in the data, when people are angry or a lack of sleep, they perform worse, right? And things like the news, knowing if news actually is there or not, and if it's going to impact the market, you're going to find correlations to be like, hey, when there's a news event, and I know there's a news event, I end up tilting those days, right? This is how you collect the data and get better. Be data driven and hold accountability for yourself through using these tools. I know it's not glamorous, but this is how you get better as a trader. This is a very systematic approach to doing that, where, you know, normally you're just kind of feeling around in the dark and hoping to get better. This actually helps you get better through this approach. But Josh has really put a ton of detail and attention in all this stuff, trying to make it really easy and simplistic compared to what we have now. So more people get the value that they need from it, because this is like,
in all honesty, even the previous version of the platform I thought was hands down the best out there. That's the way I felt about it. And this,
we really appreciate that feedback. But
I
know it was a little bit like, for newer people, it was a big, tough thing to swallow. Like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in there. Where I think Josh has just really killed it on making it easier for, you know, maybe beginning traders or people that have, you know, maybe they're spread all over the place with different platforms managing stuff. But there will be hopefully a future where we can just offer this to anyone, and they can link it up to other platforms and stuff. But that's like way off in the future. But we just want to bring value to the community, man, because we know trading's tough. It's hard for people. All right, Josh, what other features we got? Because I know you got a
let me hop in. So the one new feature we have that you haven't seen anywhere else. So this is called recordings. So we wanted a way, you know, everyone is always like, really good idea is record your screen. Then you got to get OBS set up. You got to remember to do it. It's very disconnected. It's just a video file sitting somewhere on your desktop or maybe on YouTube in a private, unlisted storage. And it feels very, you know, it's another disconnected component of trading that they should really be. We figured out a way to come in here, hit start recording. I've noticed here I'm saying include my microphone audio. I can't remember if I have my microphone set right in here, but let's go ahead. I don't know if you can see this screen, but I'm sharing the current tab. So now this, you can see right here, it's recording. You can come over this and you can see a little preview of the recording. This is recording just to your desktop. So this isn't getting sent to our servers, none of this.
Order field. Order field. Order field. Order field. Order field. Order field.
Current tab. So now this, you can see right here, it's recording. You can come over this and you can see a little preview of the recording. This is And I open up the trading panel, go over to the main page. All right. So we took the trade. You can see this comes in. This is if you're used to our dashboard, you've seen this before. Did here it is, and then hit play.
There we go.
Josh, I don't know if
notes
anybody's been
setup.
hearing what we've been saying.
No,
Is
we couldn't, but yeah.
You can't hear me?
No, we can now.
No, I don't think we were able to hear the audio for some reason at all.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully,
Yeah, I must not be sharing the audio, but the audio got recorded and it transcribed what I said. So that was the goal. Must be something here with the stream.
Yeah, and just a quick note on this
Mhm.
reviewing trades live like this is, man, it's if you guys have ever tried to back test or just look at a static chart when you're trying to review your trades, there's nothing that replaces what the market moves like live, right? When you're back testing strategies, it's like, okay, this is moving like 1 frame per minute. And if you're reviewing trades on a static chart, you have no idea what the momentum looked like or what the price action actually looked like. You're just seeing static candlesticks. Being able to review your trades live like this helps you put yourself in the mindset that you are in when you're taking the trade.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I think much of what you said, Josh, was not. Nobody could hear it, so just to quickly go through it.
Okay. Yeah. So
feature
the
right there
recordings
that he showed. Yeah, I don't even think people saw that.
Can you hear me now? Right? We're good.
Yeah, everybody can hear.
Yeah, okay,
you
so
now.
I made that recording and it put the setups on the recording. So those are all associated now. The recording, the trades I took when the recording was happening, and I can pull up the recording I made right here in the browser and I can see all the events that happened while I was doing the recording. So here's all the spoken events transcribed for me automatically. So those were the words I was saying to you guys that you didn't hear. This all got recorded. Apparently the mic took over in the recording on here, but you can see there's, can you just let me know if you can't hear me? But
no, we can hear you. So you can scrub through the data. So now
you
you're
can scrub through all the data on the video by the events that happened. So the talking events, the closing of the order, exits. You can see all the different buy and sell events. You can do your tagging and setups while that's happening in replay mode. So this is all a replay mode, but it's way more in depth and it's way more interactive. So you can you get a lot more extracted from the video for you.
Saved to your local computer. It is not uploaded to the cloud or anything. It's all locally held on your own computer. So privacy is respected in that sense, right?
Exactly. Yep. All the recordings are stored locally. We're talking about there's people that might want to actually have it stored in a cloud that we can do that for you, but we don't have that ability right now. So everything right now is just private, and it would be an opt-in if we stored it for you, and it would just be a convenience thing. And then we've added a whole new notebook section. So with the notebook section, you can create your own custom notebooks and you can use our full editor that can take screenshots and put them in here. You can even use your voice to annotate. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to lose my audio again. We have a templating system now. So we have a bunch of pre-built templates for your notes. You can use these for the daily notes or whatever you want, or you can create a custom template. So if you want to reuse a template because you don't want to use our daily process, you can make your own daily process and reuse that every day.
Cool. So the templates are something that's really useful for, newer traders that don't really have an idea of the framework that they should be utilizing for making a template and how that should be structured. So use those predefined ones is going to be really nice for guys that don't know or gals that don't know. And then you could always pick and choose what you want from that template and maybe combine it into your own template. So really cool, man. So the new notes feature.
And then we have these little things. This is a nice little thing, but we have these sticky notes you can put up. So, a lot of people have sticky notes on their computer physically. So now here's a way you can just do the same kind of thing.
Sticky note, no. Put don't tilt or don't overtrade on that sticky note.
Yeah. Stop taking. Yeah. Here, how about take less than 100 trades today?
Yes. There you go. Sticky note.
Good idea. A good just one. Put that right there, and it'll stay with you while you're trading. You got a little sticky note built in. And that'll just go right into the notebook. And if you want to delete those, you can delete those or just drop them off the screen temporarily. We've got the playbook's been kind of rebuilt to be a little bit better organized, so you can see your setups and manage your setups here. The reporting page is going to get even more reports coming. We've got a streak analysis that has been added. So this is going to keep track. This is going to show you, based on the period of time you want to look at and the accounts you want to look at, what your recoverability sort of looks like and where an optimal stop might be, where you might want to take a break. So this is going to see, you can see I had the number of 1 losses in a row, the number of 2 losses in a row, the number of 4 losses in a row, right? And then you're seeing after that, we start going into the 6 and 7 losses in a row. So this can be a good way to extract, okay, maybe after 4 losses, there's a good chance I'm going to go to 6 or 7 losses. So 4 is a good place to either stop for the day or at least take a break. So that's what this report's going to get.
Having something like this for each individual setup that you trade, you're going to be able to figure out, okay, fine tuning your setup. Okay, so generally when I have, let's say it's a breakout trade, when I have 2 breakouts in a row that fail, that don't work, you can look at your streak analysis and be like, hey, I have a very high probability that it's going to go all the way to 6 losers in a row. So I might as well just stop trading the strategy. So that's kind of how you pick through the data to get better, right? It's all about trying to give tools to traders to get them to be better at trading.
We're always trying to break it down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right. We're trying to break it down to give you guys an actual actionable items. So you're not just looking at charts and going, oh, those are pretty. We're trying to make it so we give you something you can change and a way to use it, which gets into the existing P&L simulator if you haven't seen this.
What other fancy buttons do you have down there? They're very colorful.
So we're going to have a music player. I don't have the music loaded in here yet, but there's going to be a music player. So you can, there are definitely lots of studies around listening to specific genres like classical or mostly wordless music that improves focus. So this is just another little angle to keep you focused on the trading. I'm trying to go a little fast here, but on the live journal. So to track your progress, we've improved that. So you'll be able to much more clearly see, do I have a base hit today during the assessment? What's the base hit amount? You'll see it day by day here broken down. And then the chart will be a lot more useful because you'll be able to see every individual day. And then if your profit target were to increase for the day, or if you're using an end of day drawdown and watching that increase, it's just a much better visual way. The calendar is a lot cleaner. This is the default one, so this is based off of P&L. I'm using too many resources here on my computer, but if I go, you can now look at the calendar in multiple views. So you can, hang on a second.
Is that your fancy MacBook or your Windows?
Yeah, I've got a couple of platforms right now.
Oh, okay, got
I'm trying to close them, but now it's making it worse.
You made it way worse.
Anyways, you can switch between the process, not just the P&L. And these are heat maps. Okay. So when you switch towards the process, now you can see hotspots based on different categories, not just P&L. So maybe the trade count, the win percentage, the amount of volumes, the amount of contracts you moved, or the size, the amount of average contracts you used in per trade, risk to reward, and even consistency. So this is just another way to kind of spot, kind contrasting days that might have some more meaning for you to dig in. You saw the economic news, and then the connection details are just right on here. So it should be a little bit easier for the new guys to find their credentials. Then yeah, and a lot of little things, but I think I got most of the big things.
Cool. Yeah, there's two areas: coaching and
right.
competitions.
So
you haven't clicked
coaching
those
is
yet.
something I can't really show you right now. Yeah.
Josh. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I can't show this because there's people that we coach. But
what about what about the competitions? Are you able to click that one? Is there
I can do that.
Really in there? Yeah.
Yeah, this is all test data right now, but running competitions side by side, having we're going to be having the ability to pop up mini competitions, so we can do competitions for some of your trading pods out there or Discord groups. We'll be running our own. This will give you an example. Because we have a system that's built on extreme customizability of the plans, we can do the same with the competition. So if we want to run like something crazy, like a 1 micro oil trading for 2 weeks, and you could participate in that and maybe learn the oil market. So that would be a great way and kind of a fun way to do so. And let's say you hopped in here, you could look at the globe. This is a kind of nice little fun thing where you could see where all the participants are around the globe and get an idea if they're red or green, just by region. It's kind of fun. But then the leaderboard, this is where it becomes interesting. What we want to do is make the leaderboard transparent so that the traders can learn. So you'll be able to opt in if you don't want your trade shown. That's fine. But the idea here is you could just, as a trader that's just monitoring in the competition, you could come in and say, okay, let me see what this person's been doing. And you could dig into their reports for this particular account during the competition and even, pull up the trade history and get an idea for like, okay, well, this person's winning. Well, what's going on? I think that is a really good learning opportunity for traders. And I think it would encourage the traders themselves to maybe be a little bit more precise about what they're doing, so they don't win in a way that makes them look like they weren't taking it seriously, I guess you could say.
Full port.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, full port and just be proud of it. That's who you want to
be.
Full send.
Quick question for you. So on these competitions, are these sim accounts that are, so let's say I wanted to do like a trading competition or something with, 10 people. Are they going to have to purchase the sim accounts?
We'll probably keep it pretty minimal just to pretty much cover our costs, $10-$20.
Cool.
Enter it. And then that'll cover our platform costs and data and everything. And then if it was like a pod like yours that wanted to do it, we wouldn't handle the prize for you necessarily. In most cases, that would be up to you.
Cool.
But we'll be running ones that will for sure be providing the prizes. And we have some cool ideas for that.
Cool.
Some straight to live stuff, real live brokerage, not straight to a sim live cat payout world like a lot of the other guys. Yeah, so we've completely revamped things, and all the features are really, every question, every step that we do, every change we make is always in the thought of we're trying to make our traders better to manage our capital, because we put a lot of traders live. We've got at any point in time 40 plus, 50 plus traders in our live accounts.
70 at any one time. 70.
Yeah, it's been moving up. So we're in proportion to the size of our company. We have way more live traders than anybody else in the space. I think the biggest one in the space probably only has 150 live traders, and they're monstrous compared to
99% larger than us. So it's like we're 1% of their size, and we have 1/3 of their traders already in live. So we definitely have the most live traders.
And because we did that, this is, I don't like sounding like a sales pitch here, but because we do that, we're putting ourselves in a position where it's very important for us to try to make you guys hold your live trading accounts. That's really important to us, because we actually do benefit from it. We're putting up the capital. We're taking the risk on the things that can happen in live accounts, even if you have a stop loss. There's slippage, all those are real events that we're taking the risk on. And because of that, the upside is obviously just so huge for all of us. So all these tools aren't just, oh, how do we add a shiny button? It's no, how do we rethink this stuff so we can put these traders on rails and get them paid out, so they're continuing to take payouts and the business can grow as much as possible on that end.
Awesome.
So yeah.
All right. If anybody has any questions or anything they want to ask of Johnny or of Josh, other than that, we're kind of running over on time, so I want to really be respectful of Johnny's time. He's been on the show for quite a while. Thank you so much, Johnny, for coming in.
Yeah,
we
thank
really
you guys.
appreciate.
Pleasure.
Anybody have any questions for Johnny? What do we got? Chat. Let's hear the questions. I know.
Alexis, I see yours. Let's go.
Best mentor. Oh, here. Let me click it. Let me click it. Got it. Oh, wait, no, I clicked the wrong one.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Yo.
So, yeah, guys, feel free to check out the Futures Desk. I really do think it's a game changer. I don't push any prop firms, but the Futures Desk is very different in my eyes. And if y'all have any questions and you're struggling with trading, I'm always down to help, people out there, because I know trading is the most difficult thing in the world. And, when I started trading, I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. So I think it's helpful to have somebody you can chat with about it. I live stream every day. Feel free to join and, talk about your trade ideas. Everybody in my stream, is there to contribute. And the way I see it, it's, we're all there to help each other succeed. And there are people in there that trade different strategies and whatnot, and they offer their 2 cents. I offer my 2 cents, and the goal is for us all to succeed.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Josh, this is one for you. Do you know what he's talking about? Josh, did my idea make it into TFD Update 2.0?
I am not sure what your idea was. If you want to DM me, though, I can tell you more, unless you get the message in real fast.
Super fast.
Oh, too late.
All right. Can we put up Johnny's YouTube link? And then he's also on
Twitch and
Kick.
Yeah, I think I have one follower on YouTube. I just started streaming on there 2 weeks ago.
Awesome.
But yeah, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, they're all the same. Trade or Die X.
Okay.
And
Trade or Die X.
Trade or Die X, and you can also follow me on X.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's it. I guess we're. What plan do you like?
I do it on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. I have the most followers, I think, on Twitch. So yeah, any of those work?
Cool. Oh, here he is, Josh.
Oh, Night Hall, the big cassette behind me says pause if you must, but don't stop.
Trades by trades, how the trade did and where you were at balance wise to actually show you're trying to pull a Hail Mary rather than just seeing. Okay, so seeing the balance before you took the trade. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, there is something that we're adding still. I think that covers that. Of course, you'll see that if you're recording your video as well. That'd be another way to see it. But yeah, there's basically a playback feature is what we're going to look at for, and then watching your balance over time while the trades are taking place.
Cool. So that is his X. Make sure you guys check it out. I don't know, follow, like, whatever it's called on there. Twitter's, I just think of Twitter every time I hear X, and it's just a better name. Twitter's better, and tweet sounds more, like people still say, like, oh, I'm going to tweet something. It's like, well, is that really a tweet anymore? Because it's X, right? Does that make sense? Not really. Anyways, I'm rambling now. We've been on the show too long. Glad to hear it. Okay, yep, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, use Johnny's code if you guys are going to sign up with us. Really appreciate that. I'm sure he would appreciate that, especially for the long show that we had today. We value his time. So thank you so much, guys.
Thanks,
See you guys next time.